Hi, Ed and Val. Don told me you were asking all about the garden, so I thought I'd show you a video. Here in this section, we have baby fruit trees. I have 3 pear and 2 sweet cherry trees. Yum. And over here is one of the boxes that I decided to decorate. And this has sweet potatoes, which are just now getting started. And there are also some yams, and we've got some Swiss chard coming up, and some squash of some sort, which I don't remember the particular variety. And I should go on the other side of the sun. We've got potatoes and more potatoes. I'll try not to make you seasick. And then we have some cabbage. And there's green beans and flowers. And this is a wonderful little berry. It's called the wonderberry. It grows like crazy, and the berries are a little smaller than a blueberry and have an unusual taste. They're similar to a blueberry and something else, I have no idea what. But I throw them in with jam. We have some tomato plants and some more green beans. And in case anyone is in doubt, Jesus lives. And I only decorated a few of them. Thought I'd attract some pollinators. And this is what I'm really excited about. These funky things are onions. And this is the first year, I'm so excited, that I have some actual onion bulbs. And they're a pretty good size. I'm really surprised. These overwintered, which is why they're blooming. And I just threw them in the ground to see what would happen, and voila. We have some huge, I don't know if that's spinach or if that's some more Swiss chard. I think that's crazy thing right there is spinach. It's massive. Let's see. There you go. So you can get a look at the size of that leaf. And, it's blooming, blooming. This is an herb with edible flowers. This is called borage. It's a medicinal herb too, and you can eat the leaves, although they're kind of prickly. You're supposed to eat them when they're young. I haven't tried that. I'm too chicken. But I have had the leaves. And cabbage is happy. And there's, I have a couple different kinds of kale. This is a kale plant right here, and there's some others that are larger. And this is a kale plant right here. Some others are larger. And my blueberry bush is pathetic, so I'm going to have to get some better blueberry plants. These were a Walmart special, and I'm not sure what I planted in here with them. I'm good at doing that. And here's some more cabbages. And we have garlic. I love growing garlic. It is so much fun. You just put the cloves in the ground in the winter, and voila, in the spring they come up and they're just so happy. We have some massive marigolds here, which I just found out marigold flowers are the source for the eye nutritions that we're taking. So we'll be eating those. We have strawberries and some alyssum, and there's an oregano plant. And let's see, there's some fennel right there. And these are some onions that are not as mature as those others I showed you, but they'll get there. We have a bunch of greens and broccolis, and there's some lettuce and carrots down there at the end. And here's a huge sage plant. And here's some red cabbage. And there's some more of that kale, and there's more of that kind of kale, and there's garlic and onions, and there's a rosemary plant in here. And then I have a peony plant with onions, which are doing really good this year. It's the first time I've done this good on onions. And here's another medicinal herb, is yarrow. More kale. Oh, and this is delicious. This is a lemon verbena. It smells amazing, and you can make tea with it. More onions. This is another sage plant. And here's some more onions that overwintered, and geraniums. I do what's called heavy, dense planting, and I also mix everything up so it confuses the bugs. So we have a bunch of peas, and there's some strawberry plants down there, and there's some more oregano right there, and peas, and peas, and peas. And I threw a bunch of flower seeds in here in the middle. Let's see, and we have a spearmint plant. There's some greens and some kind of flower. I want to say these are dwarf zinnias, but I don't remember. I'm good at my markers disappear. Green beans. There's some more Swiss chard. And interspersed in a lot of these are squash and pumpkins, which haven't come up yet. And this one has some cucumber plants and my one and only corn stalk. And these are some borage plants also that are a lot younger. Let's see, and a bunch of lettuce. Well, I think I skipped all the lettuce plants, but I've got lettuce coming out my ears. I harvested a 5-gallon bucket late last week. So another experiment I'm doing is I'm saving and replanting like the bottom of a cabbage. When you cut up a cabbage head, I'm leaving about that much high and probably 1.5 inches square. And then I replant it, just stick it in the ground, and here you go, cabbage plants. And the same thing with celery. I've discovered you can do that with celery. So this green thing here is a celery plant coming up from a store-bought one. And this bed is supposed to have a bunch of pumpkins and squash in it. And I'm looking, oh, here's a watermelon right here. That little guy, that's a watermelon. And I plant all organic, and most of these are heirloom seeds, which means they haven't been hybridized, so I can actually save the seeds and replant next year from those same seeds. So these are a bunch of pepper plants. These are jalapenos because I bought these. And these little guys that are so small are the ones I started. So I've got a variety of sweet and hot so I can make salsa. And this, what is this? I forgot. Oh, that in the background is George. This is lemon verbena and some more Swiss chard and more watermelon. These guys are doing pretty good. And I'm going to have to replant because we had so much rain after I put seeds in that everything drowned. So this is cilantro for my salsa. And then over here in the compost pile, I have some zucchini. And these are over here because these are an heirloom plant that gets to be 4 feet tall. And also there's some sunflowers. And last year these are the chickens. Here's George. Hey, George. Say hello to Valerie and Ed. And the girls, they have these things on their back because George is over a year old now, so his spurs, one of the girls, he ripped a big hole in her back. So they have these saddles to protect their backs when George mounts them. And I've lost some birds to the neighbor's dogs, which is why I don't have that many birds. I need to have some more. And this is a flower garden to attract some pollinators. And this is called bee balm. I didn't think it was going to come up, but it's actually happy here. And this is called tick seed, which is real happy here. Hi, George. How you doing, buddy? Let's see. I'll try not to make you seasick. And over on, let's see, we call this the east side that we just looked at. And over on the west side, I have more potatoes. And also it's where my tomato setup is going. As all of these white buckets have tomatoes. Last year, we used this big pole, and I did the arrangement the other way around with the buckets hanging, but I couldn't water them. It's too high. So we're stringing the tomatoes up. We'll train them to go up the string. But I have, let's see, several varieties. Got some big plate tomatoes and some little cherry tomatoes. Several of these are a couple of them are hybrids because I bought them from a nursery. Because mine were so small that I wasn't sure if they'd live because it was so cold in my starting place. Oh, there we go. So anyway, everyone's happy and we have blooms, so we'll have tomatoes. And here's the rest of the potatoes. And then in here we have more sweet potatoes and tomatoes. And this little box just has some parsley and sweet potato in there and some kind of a squash and another tomato plant. And then way over in those brown boxes are apple trees. And the big green, or the little green tree to the right was already here. I think it's a crabapple, but I'm not positive. So it was a lot bigger. So we pruned it heavily this year because it did bear fruit last year, but it was horrible. The birds liked it. And last but not least, this is just next to the well house. This is a bunch of broccoli. And there's some beans, like dried beans, volunteers that came up from last year. And then there's a bunch of dill, like that one that's sticking up. That's overwintered. And there's a bunch more Swiss chard here. And let's see. I also planted some more flower seeds in here. I have 2 tomatoes. And what is this? I have no idea what this is. I know I had some zinnias. That might be zinnias. I had some 5 foot tall, and I'm not exaggerating, zinnias over here. So I let them go to seed. So I should have some volunteer plants. So anyway, let's see if I can figure out how to reverse this. Nope, don't know how. Anyway, I can't reverse this. I'll try this. I have no idea if this is focused on me. Anyway, that's the garden, and I hope you enjoy it. And we love you guys very much. And we're praying for you, and we thank you for your prayers for us too. So, bye, and God bless you.